Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you. It is going to be on dual site, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This is the grand finals right here. Your first and second place players battling it out to see who is who here. It is going to be cZaseohyeon and uGpSS here once again. Sc2, my great friend and co-caster for the evening, is joining me here online. How are you doing, Sc2?
I am doing absolutely wonderful. Now we're going to be seeing cZaseohyeon challenge uGpSS once again. And this is going to be pretty interesting. cZaseohyeon's on the losers bracket, so he's got a little bit of an uphill battle once again. And since we saw him play uGpSS before, and he didn't really even take a game off of uGpSS, this is going to be a really uphill battle for cZaseohyeon. But that doesn't matter. Sometimes, Knack, the underdog will win. And that is always the heartwarming story. Now, whether or not that's going to happen today, we don't know. We don't know just yet. But that's exactly why we're watching these. That's exactly why me and Knack are bringing this to you live at the AGL-Invitational Finals.
Woohoo! And I do want to mention, while we do have a moment here getting into this, that the plan is right now for the 22nd to begin AGL's February tournament. We will have artwork for that here shortly. We hope to be able to unveil that for you guys this evening. And that is going to be tons of fun. But getting into this match here, Sc2, I'm super excited here. But cZaseohyeon, I've got to feel like he definitely is an underdog here. I mean, number one, he's got so many more wins that he has to take off SS here moving forward, which is obviously, I mean, that's a mounting concern. But aside from that, he's already come up against SS and has had trouble with him thus far. How do you proceed if you're in this situation as a Terran player versus Protoss here?
Well, I mean, there's always a number of different ways. I mean, we could just look at this as a tournament in general. How do you always proceed when you're doing, poorly? You could go for something risky. You could go for something unexpected. You can try and get in your opponent's head, but fortunately, generally, if you're in such a hind leg position, you're going to be on your own. You're going to be your own worst enemy in these types of situations. Whether or not cZaseohyeon is his own worst enemy, I mean, that's all up to his mental conditioning. We don't exactly know that without getting Freud up in here. But but looking at this already, we do see a refinery going down really early for cZaseohyeon. It looks like we're going to be seeing some sort of Banshee pressure come out of him. He's got the barracks up already. The factory is now going down. The second refinery being up so early, I think we're going to be seeing some two-port Banshee. Crazy battling stuff coming out of this. And I'm really excited for that. Whether or not uGpSS is going to be able to scout this is really going to be key here. Because for a Protoss player, you have to scout this to know it's going to be, to really prepare for it.
Oh my goodness. What do you make of this pylon down here at the bottom section?
uGpSS, man, he gets in your head. That's what he does. He gets in your head. And that poor little Scantipede over here is like, you know what, man, this is on you. But it looks like cZaseohyeon is going to scout it once again. Now maybe he's not going to get caught out of position as he did last time. The Stargate goes down. He knows it's got to be the same thing once again. But I'm curious he's not scouting it again. It's really kind of curious. You see the pylon over there. Oh, now he realizes it. I think he wasn't paying attention to the map or what.
Yeah.
But now he realizes he needs to go back over there and check out what the heck was going down at that pylon. And yes, there is a Stargate. And now cZaseohyeon knows it's going to be coming on again. The starport going down once again. Is he going to be able to get that Viking up? I really hope he does. The Stalker coming in. Looks like he's going to be poking a little bit here and there. Going to be taking out one of those Marines. No, that Marine does micro himself back. Reactor going down for him as well. It looks like it's going to be a pretty standard 1-1-1 push, possibly. If we start seeing, a Viking's going to be going down, or we're going to be seeing a siege tank pretty soon, too. Out of cZaseohyeon, it's going to be pretty pivotal.
Oh yeah, I think so, absolutely. But getting the Vikings out here sooner than he did in the game that we saw between him and SS earlier, where he did even scout that, but a little bit later than he did at this juncture. And so far, I think that he may have the appropriate response here to this, to this large Stargate play. But you know what? SS, like you said, he's playing with his opponent's mind right here. He's doing the exact same play. It is scouted here yet again, and he continues the play. He's letting cZaseohyeon know that he is not afraid of his scouting abilities here. So, I mean, this is pretty good stuff. He's got a forward pylon here. It's very close. Reinforcing this position is going to be very easy for him, and this one-base play could be difficult to deal with.
It could be very difficult to deal with indeed. Now the Phoenixes are going to be following up this Void Ray, and I couldn't agree with this anymore, especially with the fact that cZaseohyeon already has a starport out. Those Phoenix are going to be able to do a lot of damage to any type of Viking play that's going to be coming out of cZaseohyeon. Now here comes the push. The Phoenix is going to come out a little bit later to really deal with these Vikings, but it doesn't really matter. He just needs to keep that Void Ray alive for now. The Siege Tank going to be able to do a little bit more damage to these Stalkers than those Stalkers are going to be able to do to it. And trying to get some clutch force fields out, but it looks like he is not going to be successful there. And it's actually taking out the tech lab on that factory. That's going to be pretty big. Now cZaseohyeon's not going to be able to make any more siege tanks.
Yeah, he's going to take this opportunity to rebuild his tech lab a little bit further away from the cliff this time, and hopefully by chance to keep it this time, right? But like you say, I mean, we've got these Phoenix out on the field. They do not do additional damage to the Vikings, but they will be a nice counter here. He's going to have plenty of air units to deal with these Vikings. When it comes down to it, the Void Rays are your best air unit versus the Vikings here, because they do the additional damage to armored units. But I mean, this will be, or is it armored or massive? I should have better checked.
Armored. Vikings do extra against armored. Void Rays do extra against armored as well.
Yeah, armored. Okay, so good. So they'll do extra versus these Vikings. This is gearing up to be a very interesting little matchup here. Notice that cZaseohyeon does have a lot of SCVs pulled already. They're just sitting here waiting. He knows this attack can come at any moment. So bunker gone down. He's got it filled up. He's going to try and hold this front ramp, which I think is absolutely crucial. If he loses this ramp, it's going to turn into a GG type scenario. Now, also, I do half expect to see SS go for an expansion, and look at that. He is going to be tossing down a Nexus right here, right now, and this is going to start putting him ahead economically. Let's check in on that units tab. So notice that cZaseohyeon is way ahead in the SCVs here, actually, 29 to 26, and he also does have the mules out, obviously, on the field, and that's going to be super helpful for him, but SS will potentially take an economic lead here. How do you think this is going to proceed? I mean, do you think SS should just go ahead and back out here, or should he push this attack?
Well, he definitely doesn't want to overcommit here. He's got the macro now going down, and it looks like cZaseohyeon's going to know that Nexus is coming down as well. But cZaseohyeon has to be very cautious in moving down this ramp. He doesn't want to get caught out of position. Does he want to start doing a really heavy push after this? Now, that's really up to cZaseohyeon. Does he think he can get a good advantage against his Protoss opponent? That's going to be a really big question on his mind right now. He says, can I push across this map? Can I confidently get into a good position and take out this Protoss player right now? That's a really big question on his mind. He's got all of these Vikings. He's got a lot of Vikings. He's going to go across over here now and take out this Stargate and Pylon. And that's going to be his first clue, is whether or not he feels that he's going to be confident enough to really go against this Protoss player. On my opinion alone, I would not go against a Protoss player. I would probably double expand and try and get an econ advantage back.
Right. Now, I mean, what he's doing is exact opposite. I mean, he's not expanding here at all. There's no command centers in the works, and we do see SS moving out onto the field. This is a smart play from SS. Number one, this is going to buy him time. So if the engagement does go in cZaseohyeon's favor, that is going to buy time for SS to rebuild an army back at his base. And I think this is a really smart play, and I think that in the end, this is going to start to put him ahead here. But here comes the attack. You go ahead.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very, very tense right now. Both players don't want to overcommit. Both players don't want to get caught out of position, but it looks like we might actually get caught out of position here. As those force fields do go up, and it looks like those tanks are going to be a little bit exposed here. They're going to try and do as much damage as possible, but those force fields are absolutely zoning out those Marines. Now, it looks like SS is going to have to be a little bit careful, because that is a lot of Marines, but he does have Guardian Shield up, and he's got a lot of sentries, so he's going to have Guardian Shield up for a really long time. He's going to be able to slice and dice that army as much as he wants with so many sentries up. But it looks like here comes the engagement once again, and those Marines are just getting absolutely cut off from the rest of their army. The siege tank is now just completely out of position. The sentries are starting to fall, the Vikings going down once again, but those Stalkers are actually going to be able to out-micro those Marines. But it looks like SS is starting to lose his forces now at an 84 to 43 food. This is going to be really bad right now. He's starting to get a couple of probes at his natural. The Void Ray actually didn't engage at all. Which is kind of curious. He didn't soak any type of damage, and those medevacs are going to be allowed to get those Marines to have that high ground vision and attack of those Stalkers. The Zealot up there, really awkwardly placed up there. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
Not going to do much up there except for tanks or shots from the tank, right? But there he goes. He does
until
go
he
down.
dies.
We still have your Void Ray out on the field. I would like to see him try and flank the tanks with the Void Ray. Void Rays do a heck of a lot of damage to tanks. But, I mean, at this point, cZaseohyeon's in phenomenal shape. He is sieging up here. He's going to be able to take out quite a few structures as he moves forward. We should see him start to leapfrog forward and get himself in position to deny this second base. But SS looks like he may not wait that long. It is go time here for him. He is going to be pushing through here. Got the Void Ray in the mix this time. I think a smart little play there, but not engaging the correct units. I would like to see him focusing down the tanks with that Void Ray if at all possible. And there it is. GG from SS. Unbelievable. Knew he could not hold there. Nicely done from cZaseohyeon coming back with the counter attack. Oh, man. Any last words on that one, Sc2?
cZaseohyeon, man, he's, those first couple of games against SS, and even the one against ManQ, he was playing as somebody else, and I was expecting him to start getting back into his stride, and it looks like we are going to be seeing that stride come right back to him. That was absolutely a pretty beautiful play there. As I was saying before, that's really where a Terran player starts to get a little bit sticky, It's like, what decision do I make at this moment? Right. Do you think I could take out a Protoss player? The Protoss player even got a really good positioning off on those tanks, but it looks like cZaseohyeon was actually focusing down those sentries very smartly and was able to do a lot of damage. And especially with all of those Marines there, SS actually pushed into a lot of those Zealots and pushed in with his Zealots first, and those Zealots absolutely melted to the Marines who were focusing purely on the Zealots and on the Stalkers. He knew his tank could take out the Stalkers as long as his Marines took out the Zealots that would take out the tank.
Yeah. Absolutely well said. Such a phenomenal matchup here. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Game number 2 will be headed your way here in just a moment. It will be SS map pick. Don't alt tab. Always alt Starcraft. We'll catch you guys then. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you. It is game 2 in this grand final here between SS and cZaseohyeon. Oh my goodness, it's been a phenomenal series so far, and just starting with game number 1. But if you consider back where we've seen these players come from, the inordinate amount of work that they have done to make it to this position, it is absolutely astounding. So my friend and co-caster for the evening is Sc2. He is on the line as usual. Sc2, how are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely spectacular. Now, seeing uGpSS lose a game to cZaseohyeon when he was so confidently winning against cZaseohyeon before, that's giving me a little bit of a heartwarming hope. I think we could be seeing the comeback kid. I think uGpSS, if we were to liken this to anything, is Johnny Kai from the Cobra Kais of Karate Kid.
Yes, very well said. I mean, if we see a comeback here, that is really going to be exciting. I would love to see this come down to an ace match where there's one more game left, meaning that cZaseohyeon is going to have to win 5 games to get there. But he's already got 1, so it's only 4 more, right? 4 more games, he can do that. It's doable. Absolutely doable.
Absolutely doable. But, when it comes down to that ace match, we're going to see that Karate Kid move. He's going to do that little crane kick. We're going to be like, oh my god, is he going to go for it? And it's going to be like 3 battle cruisers out of nowhere, and that's going to be the crane kick, like, Mr. Miyagi taught him 3 battle cruiser rush, at the very beginning of the movie. And that's what we're going to see here. I think that's exactly what we're going to see here. 3 battle cruiser rush is going to be at the ace match.
I'm going to assume at this point that that Sc2 is joking about that, but you know what? How excited I would be if we did see a 3 battle cruiser rush.
If I called that from now, I'm gonna leave the cast before anything ends. I'm gonna leave the cast, go to the Sunoco down the street, and buy 8 lottery tickets. If I just called that.
I'll tell you what. If you guess that right, I will absolutely send you a polo.
What? That's how I get my polo?
Yeah, that's how
I have to be clairvoyant.
I think
that's a little bit unfair.
No, I mean, it's just one way. It's just one way. It's the fast way to get it.
That's true. Alright, but spawning at the top left-hand corner as the green Protoss pieces is uGpSS, who's been playing absolutely beautifully so far, playing a really heavy containment game last game, and losing to cZaseohyeon. And speaking of cZaseohyeon, who could forget our red Terran player deploying over here in the bottom right-hand corner of Belshire Beach, winter, so it's nice and chilly. Hope you brought your jackets, ladies and gentlemen. It's cZaseohyeon, the red Terran, beautiful game player. He absolutely took back the game against ManQ, 2 games against ManQ, and has already taken 1 game against uGpSS, our Johnny Kai, who beat him up so vehemently before. Is cZaseohyeon going to be able to take it back? Well, that's what we're going to watch in the next couple of matches.
Will be interesting. And we did open with 2 racks here from cZaseohyeon, so he's kind of got an interesting position. He's kind of hiding this one over here on the backside, but Tech Lab going down here very early, so I'm expecting to see a Marauder push come out from these guys. But I'll tell you, man, I expect this match to be an extremely long one, to be honest. I don't think that cZaseohyeon is going to give up easily at all, and I do expect that SS has got something particular for a plan here as he moves forward. Now, he does have a 2 gateway opener. It looks like he's going to start putting some pressure on. Notice he's chrono boosting out both of those gateways for now, and is getting a lot of stalkers in a forward position. Now, I've seen this play from SS before. He can transition out of this extremely easily, but he can also just keep it up too if he feels like he can take down the win there. I mean, if he does feel like that, you'll see him toss down 1 or 2 more gateways and keep going for it. But here comes your first push. 2 stalkers going to find themselves out of position, and 1 stalker nearly losing his life and backing out immediately.
3 health.
That's a lucky little break there for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to go back home. He's going to kiss his wife and kids, and he's going to be like, listen, I faced death today. Terran players, man, they're nothing to mess with. I'm not going back.
So do you
but he's
think,
going to get forced back.
What unit is his wife? Is she like an Immortal, a Colossus, and what unit is his child? Just out of curiosity.
A unit for Stalker's child would be a Dark Templar. Because Stalkers are Dark Templar.
Is that right?
They're a Dark Templar that have fallen.
Oh, I see. That's right. That is the lore, isn't it?
Ah, yes, it is. And his wife would be another Stalker. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, there
are female Protoss, right? So I don't think we ever see them. But oh, look at this all-in coming in from cZaseohyeon, pulling all of his SCVs. But the force fields are already there. There's only 3 sentries there. And it looks like those SCVs just making a Congo line into the mineral line and Maynarding them up. And it looks like that's going to keep the Protoss player a little bit out of position as he tries to take out all of those SCVs. But the Observer is going to be the first unit out of the robotics facility and not an Immortal. So that's going to be a little bit interesting. And cZaseohyeon putting himself on the back foot a little bit here, pushing him back outside of the box. Again, he doesn't have enough forces to take out the rest of SS's.
This is crazy. SS held this off in like style. I mean, he's like in the Gucci and Prada section right now for style. I'll tell you, this is amazing play from him. Focusing down those SCVs was so smart. And look at the GG, just like that. Okay, so I was wrong, man. That was fast.
That was incredibly quick.
Unbelievable.
Wow. Why did that happen?
I don't know, but SS chalking up 1 for the Protoss team there, and that is going to take us into game number 3. Thank you guys for coming out, watching game number 2. We'll be going into game number 3 here momentarily. Don't Alt-Tab, always Alt-Starcraft. We'll see you guys then. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you. It is Game 3 in our grand final matchup here between these guys. It is SS and cZaseohyeon. And let me tell you, this has been an interesting series thus far. 1 game to each, but that is not a good situation, quite honestly, here for cZaseohyeon. And my friend and co-caster for the evening, Sham2, is going to tell you why that is a bad deal for him.
I'm sorry, I was actually lowering myself because apparently people were saying that Skype volume was a little too high, so I lowered myself, so you shouldn't have to lower me. But cZaseohyeon, man, he lost the last game. What happened there? I don't know what happened there, Knack.
It's a tough deal. I mean, it's a really tough deal. I mean, he went for an all-in push, and SS made it look like it was easy, peasy, breezy, lemon squeezy to deal with, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these types of confrontations between these 2 different players, you pull all your SCVs, but then you let all your SCVs die, so now you don't have even a buffer between your force and the enemy force, and when your force is actually less costly than the enemy force, you can pretty much assume that you're not going to be winning in the next coming battle. So apparently my sound is way too loud, and a lot of people are complaining about that. I don't know if you want to fix that or not.
I'll go turn you down. It's no problem.
Okay.
No problem.
But I will keep talking meanwhile. Looks like uGpSS is going to be going for that one nice little gateway over here, so we're not going to be seeing any type of cannon cheese. You know, he's already up. If he wins this next round, he actually wins the tournament, if I remember correctly, since this is a best-of-3 and best-of-3 format.
No. It's best-of-5, best-of-5.
It's just best-of-5, best-of-5.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We've got a lot of games ahead of us between cZaseohyeon and uGpSS.
2 more games for SS to win. 2 more for SS to win. 5 more for cZaseohyeon to win. So he's way behind at this point, man. It's a tough one.
Yeah, definitely very, very tough for him to come back. It is loud because I have to. I'm just saying you should.
I think I got it now. It should be better. I did turn him down quite a bit. Let me know if that is good. If not, I will turn him down even a little bit more. But cross positions here on Shattered Temple I like quite a bit. I really dislike, close positions by air for a couple different reasons. Number one, it makes it too easy for a 1-1-1 to be super effective because, I mean, it is right next door. You may as well be building it in their main. It's that close. But I'm going to go ahead and change the sound here just for a moment longer, and you let us know why you like cross positions or dislike it. I'd be interested to hear that.
The cross positions, I mean, they're absolutely awesome because you're going to be getting a lot of those macro games out of both of the players. Sometimes we have been seeing too many macro games come out of cZaseohyeon, actually, when he goes into cross positions against any of these players. But at least for me, when we do get the cross positions and we get the macro games, you just get to take half of a map and the other player takes half a map. You just kind of handshake on that one, and you start, just doing the absolutely crazy stuff that happens at endgame of Starcraft 2. Right. But, with the cross positions, I think a lot more metagaming can really be done here. As you can really start to take advantage of the fact that your opponent's not going to have the best scouting of you. You can either take really good economic advantage, or you can... okay, apparently the sound is perfect now. You can take either perfect economic advantage against your opponent, and your opponent can go for something quick and cheesy and take you out, or both can go for economic, or both can go for high tech. Or, it can just so many different things can happen. Now we can see here by uGpSS already we have a Twilight Council. We've seen this before. He's going to be going for that High Templar, I think, build once again, or maybe we're going to be seeing some Dark Templar. He does have to take just a couple more games off of cZaseohyeon, and Templar are the really metagame style that would really benefit him here as we are in a tournament and we're in a best of 5. Yeah. So, once you get in your opponent's head, you win the rest of the matches pretty easily.
Yeah. Now, I do want to mention that you did make a mistake on what Windy was saying on the live stream. He said the sound was good, and then the perfect now, he was actually referring to me. So I just want to clarify that that Windy was saying that I am perfect, and so thank you for that, Windy.
Yeah, I mean that's I'm not going to argue with that. If Windy thinks you're perfect. But I'm just gonna hang up on the Skype call and I'm gonna get out of here.
Actually, just kidding there.
I'm going to fall into the darkness as the Dark Shrine does. That is just on the way now for our Protoss player.
Yeah.
We should start calling these little Dark Templar Sham 2s because they're just going to go into the shadows because apparently they're not perfect anymore. And they're going to get cast out of Ire and nobody's going to love them anymore.
It's a common mistake, but it is okay. Now, we do see a scan go down, and guess what it does reveal here? Now, that's kind of interesting. He does reveal the Dark Shrine. Now, he would have had to have clicked it there, so my guess is he probably did. He could see it hidden over there in the corner, so probably the first place for him to click would be right there. But he doesn't have, or look at what he does right away. His wall off goes down immediately. That's a smart little play there. But we do have a proxy pylon, and it is just barely lipping that cliff there at the backside of cZaseohyeon's base. My guess is he's going to try and gain vision of this high ground here, one way or another, to try and get that done. We'll see what he's going to do, but he's going to have to get out, I would guess at this point, a robotics to make that happen.
Now, absolutely beautiful reaction there by cZaseohyeon.
Oh, a hallucinated
grabbing
Phoenix.
A Raven.
DT in main!
Oh, and but cZaseohyeon spots it. He's making his reaction already. He's got all of his forces just waiting right next to this Raven. The Raven does come out, and that DT is actually going to get sniped right then and there.
Yeah, we've got that Raven out on the field. Super effective there. I mean, cZaseohyeon making a wise move to go ahead and get this out. Now, my guess is that SS not going to overcommit here to his DT play. We're probably going to see him try and take an expansion here in just a moment, but he has committed a lot of forces so far to this play. Now, I have seen a game from SS before that was extremely interesting versus a Terran player, and what he did was he went for a DT opener. It got held off, just like we're seeing right now, and then he goes full on into DT production. Now that's crazy. I know it sounds, but will sit there and produce DTs now. So if we see him producing DTs, it will mean that he's going for a one base all in. But right now he is going to be working on dealing with the Banshee. Notice he does have the photon cannon there, pretty decent style. And here comes your Archon waddling around the main to try and take this guy down.
Yeah, he definitely wants to try and take that out. I mean, the Archon does do extra damage against light, There is no observer anywhere near being done anytime soon. And, oh, that's a pretty interesting play. I'm not sure if that actually works. He's trying to target the Stalker with the Archon and use the splash damage as to kill the Banshee.
Yeah, that does work.
That works or not. That does work. That is some pretty cool stuff there.
It does. It absolutely works. And so when the Banshee is close enough, he will be attacking his own units. And so the Banshee has to stay away from the buildings there, too, because he'll attack his own buildings absolutely at the drop of a hat. Smart little play there, but notice that SS still not taking an expansion. He's got 5 warp gates out on the field. I want to mention that very quickly here. And a robotics facility as well as his forge. No upgrades from the forge, but he is going to be grabbing his observer, and looks like he's going to gear up for a big one base push here in just a few moments. But cZaseohyeon back here on his side of the base has got a large army, and guess what, Sc2? We're going to see him push out here.
This is going to be a really scary force to push out with. There are a lot of units here. He's bringing SCVs once again. He's saying cZaseohyeon is he's just saying, you know what? I gotta end this. I want to end this. I want to finish this now. He's got a really big advantage against uGpSS right now.
Yeah.
uGpSS's forces are actually really small. I don't even think he even needs to siege against a force like this. He's got Raven. He's got Siege Tank. He's got Marines. There's 1 sentry on the field. There's charge lots, but there's 1 sentry and 2 Archons. This is not a scary force for cZaseohyeon to deal with.
No, it isn't. And SS is trying to decide whether he wants to back up into his main or stay on the low ground. Looks like he did opt to stay on the low ground here. Now, placement of your... well, look at this. He's not going to go for... He's going auto turrets here for the mineral line. Interesting play. I thought he was going to use that for a point defense drone, but apparently feels like he does not need a point defense and is going to take out quite a few probes here. And here comes your cloaked Banshees. They will be moving in to position here as well. SS not in position to deal with the Banshees. Oh my goodness, Artosis Pylons unpowering 2.
Oh yes, he does take out 2 of those warp gates. And this is absolutely beautiful play by cZaseohyeon. He really didn't need a PDD. There's only 2 Stalkers out there, and that wouldn't block any of the other attacks from those units. So these sentry auto turrets are going to do absolutely tons of damage, because that is just what they do. And charging into this battle, but the Banshee's coming in as a cloaking maneuver against these Archons back here. They're going to be able to clean up the rest of them. There is an observer, but that's just not enough. The siege tanks, the Marines, and everything else just clean up the rest of the battle. And there is the GG from uGpSS, which means we're going to be going into
game number 4.
Advantage.
Game number 4, yes, a 2-1 even. It's dead even right now. Score is 2-1. It is dead even. It's tied at 2-1. See if you can figure that one out. But thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Don't alt-tab. Always out Starcraft. We'll see you guys in game number 4. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you. It is still the grand finals of the AGL. cZaseohyeon and uGpSS still battling it out. This has been a phenomenal Terran versus Protoss. Oh, man, and SS is so strong. cZaseohyeon so strong. I've got Sc2 on the line with me. He's going to take it from here because I'm just getting kind of geeked out right now. I'm feeling pretty happy about this.
Well, let's get into the positions of the map. Thank you very much, Nact, for that introduction. Spawning at the top right-hand corner as the green Protoss pieces is our Protoss player who's been doing absolutely phenomenally in this tournament, uGpSS. And deploying up here in the top left-hand corner of Tal'Darim Altar is our red Terran, cZaseohyeon, who's been playing absolutely stellar himself. You know, he was losing a lot in the beginning of the night, but now he's back on his stride. He lost 1 game against uGpSS in this best of 5, but if he wins this one, now he's got to go into a second best of 5 against uGpSS. But uGpSS can still pull back this entire best of 5 and take out cZaseohyeon from the grand finals and be number 1. But I'm not sure if that's exactly going to happen. It looks like cZaseohyeon has gotten into his stride against his opponent. Going into a 12 racks on this map, not going to be going for any type of those 15 or 16 command centers that we've actually seen a couple of times on Tal'Darim Altar because of just such long rush distances.
Yeah.
But pretty interesting stuff. TVP, man, this is pretty exciting.
It is extremely exciting. I'll tell you, man, SS is really giving a lot of ground, I think, so far to cZaseohyeon. You know, in those last few games, really taken down some, I think, pretty nice wins there from cZaseohyeon, and he's put himself in a scary position, I think, for SS. SS really wants to take this down, this first set. Going into a second set is going to really start mounting the pressure on him. Now, it will be a best of 5 in the second set still, so I mean, he's got wiggle room still, but it's just a dangerous situation, I think, for his tournament life. But the great thing here for SS, or for cZaseohyeon, is that he is on the comeback, and like you were saying, man, just like the Karate Kid, this is what we want to see from our Terran player right now.
Now, this is some really interesting play. We saw this when he did on Belcher Beach. He went for this 2 racks play again. He grabbed the reactor over here. He grabbed the tech lab on this one. I'm not exactly sure if he's going to be going for the same all-in type build. I really hope he doesn't, because that was kind of a weak push, I have to admit. And especially on a map like this. I mean, yeah, you've got the 2-century force field over here. And it's much like Belcher Beach in the same respect as you don't have a ramp between your natural and your main.
Right.
So I'm not sure if he's going to be going for the same push again. I really hope he doesn't, because that really didn't work out to him too well. But I mean, if he does, maybe we'll be seeing the micro come back to him. And as I said, he's been getting his stride back. Maybe he just mismicroed that. They just need to get back into that stride once again.
Yeah, maybe. I think that's a great point. And I mean, in a tournament like this, where there's really a lot riding here between first place and second place. It is a $40 difference, which I mean is a big deal. So $40 to the second place winner and $80 to the first place winner. I mean, obviously both of these guys want to try and make that leap here to first place. And I noticed that SS did toss down a second Vespene Geyser, but as soon as he killed his opponent's scout, he canceled it there. So he is trying to trick his opponent here. He's metagaming him. They're pretty hardcore. We are going to see what appears to be a 4-gate out of SS, and we're going to see an attack come out here fairly quickly.
This is going to be pretty devastating to deal with. It's kind of curious. We still have that probe that's still moving around the map. I'm not sure what he wants to do with it, where he's going to be placing any type of pylons. But it's going to get scouted as he grabs the Xel'Naga on the opposite side. So he's going to know there's going to be some sneaky probe action moving around.
Yeah.
And those probes, they are pretty sneaky. They don't have any feet. They don't make any sound when they move.
Oh, that's right. They're like a ninja. They're the ninja.
They're the ninja of the Protoss race.
Oh, yeah.
Much like the Sentry. But
yeah. Oh, and Pylon caught off guard. Nicely done there from cZaseohyeon, and he does snipe that guy. Poor little probe, poor little ninja probe. It does go down. So we've got a ninja killer on our hands. I guess that would make him a samurai. But I'll tell you what, man. We've got a question to answer out here. I want to let everybody know that we are currently Game 4 of this Set 1 in our Grand Finals. Just so everybody knows, it is Game 4. It is currently 2-1. 2-1 in favor of cZaseohyeon, our Terran player. So there you go. That is your position. Now we do have another probe coming out. He is going to toss down a pylon in the center of the map. Nice position there, and we're going to start to see some warp-ins here in just a few moments, and SS going to try and brute force his way into this one. But notice the cZaseohyeon picking up a very substantial supply advantage here, 49-42. He is going to toss down a factor here, but he's got a nice little spread of his units up here at the top of this ramp, and he feels like his opponent will attack from the low ground there. So kind of interesting deal. We'll see how this is going to play out, but I think that cZaseohyeon is going to have a pretty nice little defense set up. It will come down to whether or not SS has got enough sentries, I think, and he's only got 2 in this army right now.
Yeah, this is going to be very scary, especially because uGpSS is being completely scouted out here by cZaseohyeon. He's got this Xel'Naga tower that's not often grabbed here, so he's going to know how many Protoss forces he's up against. There is that pylon up here in the middle that's actually not scouted by that Xel'Naga tower. But that's not going to be too much of a problem. Right now, I think cZaseohyeon could confidently beat SS's forces. Whether or not that's going to be the case in the next couple of minutes, I'm not exactly sure. And here comes, it looks like the engagement, putting the Zealots up in front. It looks like he wants to try and make this work. And here comes the engagement. The Zealots making their way up there. Is he going to trap the Terran forces? He does indeed. The Zealots doing a lot of damage, but are they going to be able to break through the rest of the Terran forces? I don't know, Knack, but they are doing a lot of damage. It looks like the rest of the forces do get sliced and diced up, and cZaseohyeon, GG's.
Unbelievable. So that is going to take us to the ace match here in set number 1. Tied up 2-2. Beautiful push there from SS. I loved the cancellation of his gas early game. I think that led cZaseohyeon to believe that SS was going to be going for a macro play. Seeing that second gas made him think extra sentries means expansion, and got caught off guard there with that 4K. Beautiful play. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be going into game number 5 here in just a minute. I'll tell you what, man, I'm super pumped for that. So we'll catch you guys then. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We have got grand final action coming at you right now. It is the end of the AGL tournament. We are super excited for this. This is an ace match here in grand final set number 1. So SS can potentially take down the win here. cZaseohyeon can potentially go put this towards our set number 2, which would be a very interesting deal for us. But I do have Sc2 on the line. Sc2, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing absolutely... You know what? I can't say I'm doing absolutely great. I'm on the edge of my seat. I am having heart palpitations. I shouldn't have eaten as much bacon as I did this morning because that was a mistake, because these finals are leaving me absolutely pulsating with all the excitement that I possibly could have. And I think one bad artery just going to take me out tonight as I just get all my excitement ramped up for this match. The ace matchup, a best of 5 versus SS versus cZaseohyeon on the grand finals. This is it, Knack. This is it. If
I know.
SS wins here, this is match point, man. This is big.
Yep. But, I mean, there's a big cash difference here for SS right on the line, right here in this game. You can potentially take it down, save him the playing of 5 more potential games, which would be a nice little deal for him, I'm sure. I mean, he's been here for a good while this evening, playing it out, and I'm sure this could be stressful. How many turns have you played, Sc2, on your own? Just out of curiosity. Played quite a few?
Played a number of them here and there.
Fair amount.
My first tournament, I got taken out by a 15-year-old when I was 21. No, I'm sorry, 22. That would be Gosu Poke Bunny, who took me out. I didn't know who Gosu Poke Bunny was back then. So, I got taken out by a 15-year-old, and I was like, man, I thought I was pretty good at Starcraft. I guess 15-year-olds just beat me, so there's that. So, I mean, there's those kind of moments where you think you can win against somebody, and you're not going to do it. Yeah. But does cZaseohyeon think he can take out SS? That's a good question.
I think he does. I mean, he's been putting forth a very concerted effort here. We've seen him come out with as much intricate play as he possibly can. He's really doing some interesting things here, I think. And he's trying to keep SS guessing as well as trying to keep a good scout out on SS the entire time. And I think he's playing miraculously. I hope that he does win this in many regards, especially for him. I mean, we don't want to see any player just lose, without having felt like they've put forth the best possible effort that they can possibly do. But I think that even if he does lose here, he's got nothing to be embarrassed about. I mean, he's played so phenomenally in this entire tournament, and that taking second place is not a small feat. And that does have a pretty nice cash prize along with it, too. So nothing to be ashamed of there.
Nothing to be ashamed of when you come in second place, except for the fact that you're not first.
Right.
Well, we do see a gasless expand coming out from cZaseohyeon. He's going to be grabbing his command center right now. He's got Marines pumping out of his racks, and he's going to be mining all the minerals he can possibly get. Now finally just getting his refinery a little bit before he's going to be putting down any type of other racks, and I really like this play. He's going to be trying to not lose the advantage of the map as he did in the first game against uGpSS all the way back in the losers bracket. I'm sorry, in the winners bracket round right before this one. Meanwhile, uGpSS, once again, seeing that gas expand, does exactly the same thing as he did last time. He does the Twilight Council 1 gate. So there's that, Knack. There is that. I mean, that's exactly the response that he did the first time he saw cZaseohyeon do this. Now, is cZaseohyeon going to be able to bring this game back, unlike the time that he lost to a ton of High Templar? Yeah. That's going to be the question. It's going to be on everybody's mind.
I think that's exactly what we're going to see here from SS. Like you say, he scouted that before. He responded that way before. I don't expect him to do anything different here. I think we're going to see Charge Lot, Archon, High Temp come out here in just a few moments. But, I mean, this is going to be an interesting play. I wonder if cZaseohyeon has got a trick up his sleeves potentially to help deal with that. Do you think maybe he'll rush into his... say, I don't know, ghosts or something? What do you think your best response is here if you're going to go for... I mean, obviously you're committed to heavy infantry at this point if you're going to go for this gasless expand. So, I mean, what do you do against Charge Lot Archon in that situation?
Against Charge Lot Archon, you can only hope that your ghosts get the most beautiful EMPs that you could possibly ever imagine. But that's actually not what we're going to be seeing, Knack. SS is grabbing Blink, which means that we're going to be seeing some Blink Stalker play. And not only are we going to be seeing some Blink Stalker play, he's grabbing a robotics facility right now, so he's going to be grabbing an Observer, getting that high ground advantage, and blinking in and doing a lot of damage. Now, unless we start seeing a lot of Marauders come out from our Terran player, This is going to be very difficult for him to deal with. He's grabbing Stim. I'm sorry, he's grabbing Comet Shield and he's grabbing Concussive Shell right now. He needs to grab Stim. That's really going to be pivotal here. But with Stim, he has to bring Medivacs as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see the next couple of minutes of this game as Blink is just about to finish up. The forward pylon is now down. Is SS going to be able to finish off our Terran player?
It is definitely a tenuous situation right now for cZaseohyeon, man. SS is very strong with his Blink Micro, and I mean, it's a scary little deal. Look at this, he's catching half of his opponent's forces off guard here. These guys cruising up there looking for forward pylons. Guess what they find? A forward army. That is no fun, and they do disappear very quickly. And look at this! Is this really a GG? Or is he talking? Okay, that's not a GG.
I'm not exactly sure what that is. It was a Korean character at that. I'm not sure what it means. But this is going to be very difficult for him to deal with. The Blink has finished up. The Observer is now there. He's got the high ground advantage, and there's the GG.
Oh,
and
wow!
SS is the first place in the AGL-Invitational, the first one of its kind.
Unbelievable play, ladies and gentlemen. This has been such a phenomenal tournament. I do appreciate how much support we've got for this wonderful tournament. And the players that have shown up have just proven time and time again to be the absolute best players in the world. Very, very exciting stuff. SS with such strong play there, that Blink play. Maybe catching this cZaseohyeon just a little bit off guard there at the end, but nothing to be ashamed of here, like we mentioned before. Both these players are indeed winners in the end, and that, I think, we can not ask for anything more than that. Sc2, any last words on this entire tournament?
Been absolutely a pleasure to cast everything. You know, when I casted Wednesday, I caught all of Liquid Chef's games, and the fact that Liquid Chef came out himself means that we're doing really well with where this tournament is supposed to start off and where it's going to be going. So I think we did some really good stuff here with AGL Invitational. Hopefully this is not going to be the first or last of its kind. I'm sorry, hopefully this is not going to be the last of its kind, I should say.
Certainly
thank you very
not.
much for everybody coming out. Thank you very much for supporting everything. This has been actually really quick finals. I expected this to be a little bit longer. But this is the kind of stuff you get when you get a whole bunch of Koreans into a single tournament finals.
Yep. Beautifully played. Thank you so much to everybody for coming out and supporting us. Thanks to these guys for playing. Don't alt tab, always alt Starcraft. And we will see you guys in the next AGL Invitational.